And now you know the location. We know how we found it. You know how we funded it. We funded this by just borrowing the money from a private investor. All right. And then we pay 8% interest. Okay. And then you know, we'll just stabilize it, hold on to it for a couple of years. I think on this one, we borrowed the money for 3 years. I typically do like 2 to 3 years, maybe up to 5 years. I have one investor that's like, no, I do not want my money back. Like, can you get it for 5 years? Or you could, if you want, you could have it for 10 years, kind of a thing. He'll give me up to 10 years. Because if you're a savvy investor, you understand that you don't want your money back because you're just getting paid on a monthly basis. I mean, why would you want your money back? Right. But and it's just like lenders, like bank lend, like they don't want to foreclose on the property. That's like too much work. Like they just want that money and that income every single month. It's the same concept for a private investor, right? So essentially we borrow the money for whatever terms they feel comfortable with. You know, if you want 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years or 10 years, it's fine, but we'll just borrow the money. And now we could always refi out whenever we want, you know, but that's kind of how we do it. And so, yeah, so let's run the numbers on this. So now you kind of have an idea of what it looks like, right? And this is kind of how it is. Honestly, remember I told y'all last week as well too, we just raised the rents like back in July. And we took this, we raised the rents like quite a bit. And so that's why you see a lot of availability here as well too, is because we lost like a good amount of people from each facility because we took them from like, you know, $60 to $100 a month. Like we raised the rents and tried to get everything up to where the market calls for. Because what we do is we have like this competition tracker sheet is what we call it. Let me see. And this is how we kind of do it, is we keep track, like this is Blackshear here. And we just keep track of like all of our, you know, competitors right here. So you could see there's four other storage facilities in the area. And, you know, we keep track of all the information about them. And then we keep checking, like we check their prices and keep updating their prices. And then, and this is exactly what our deal analyzer looks like too. So I'll show everybody that, and then we just keep track of their prices. If they have like whatever they have, 5x10s, 10x10, 10x15, 10x20s, what are they charging? You know, and you could see the price, and then we just look at the price per square foot. I mean, they're at like for a 10x20 non-climate control, it's coming out to $1.82. I mean, prices are just like crazy for storage. Now we'll see what happens in the next year, right? But like we've raised our rates just basically based on what the market value. We're just looking at the competition. I mean, if they're charging this much, why can't we charge this much, right? And so we raised the rates to all of our facilities across the board, all 11 of them, even all 12 of them, because even the fund we did. And so then we lost some people, right? People were just like, screw you, I'm out of here, you know. And so now we're just kind of, you know, we're coming back and getting them all leased up again. So when you see this availability, it's not because we suck at managing. It's because we raised the rents and we're trying to get them stabilized again is what we're trying to do. Okay. So that's why. All right, so that's the facility in storage. You've got pictures of it, so you have like an idea of what it looks like, you know, not, you know, just a little tiny storage facility. And remember, I told you we picked it up for $220,000, this facility. Okay, so now let's run the numbers and like let's see what it's worth. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so we got a couple questions here. Eric is asking, what method did you use to find facilities not listed on Google Maps? I go over this in so many different videos. So if anybody wants to know, but essentially it's just virtual driving for storage. It's literally just going into satellite imagery, just like this, and driving around. And it sucks, but this is how we find our facilities. Okay. So we're just like, driving around and pretend like you're like in a car and you're, but you're virtually driving and you're just going around and looking for facilities, anything that looks like a storage facility. You're like, okay, yeah, this is it. This is what it looks like. Okay, so just keep kind of looking around and just seeing what we could find. And this is kind of how we do it, honestly. So it really is very time consuming. But in the end, there's so many storage facilities that are not on Google Maps, that this is really the only way to do it, you know. Otherwise, you could buy a list, but then you have to sort through that list. So my VAs, everybody knows we got 15 VAs that work for me. And this is what they do.